I see you shiver with anticipation.
But it's not my place to judge why people like a weird thing. I never do that.
Then what are you for?
Treachery to intellectual integrity.
These ruling, blithering idiots.
Absolute moral chaos.
What the is wrong with you? What the What I'm saying is the planet's on fucking fire.
Patient.
Life is chaos of nothing. Life is sacred.
Welcome everybody to the Frickin' Deviant. My name is Spider.
And I'm Alexander.
And this is the Frickin' Deviant, episode negative 26. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. 26. We'll be doing this for
a while.
Months. Yeah, months.
Months
I
and
think,
months.
April 13th. I was just looking through the episodes, so looking at the dates. April 13th is when we started, so we're in October.
6 months.
6 months? No shit. Wow, that's amazing.
6 months.
Wow.
Half a year. Thank you guys very much for, what would we do on, like, April 13th? Like, what should we
next
do
year?
next
Like the whole year anniversary?
Like, what should we do? 1 year anniversary.
I don't know, but we should probably record that day regardless of what day of the week it is.
Oh, yeah. Just
Even
do
if we
something
have a
little.
weird-
Yeah, I actually have some ideas
special
for our
thing.
new platform that we're actually going to be opening up on. So get
you want to talk about this?
Yeah. So,
minutes before we're doing this.
Yeah, we are going to start going live on Pornhub.
Yeah,
And
Pornhub.
I actually have a couple ideas. I don't know if the people would like to see this or not, or if anybody on Pornhub would like to see this, but us actually reacting to porn games.
What's porn games?
So games that are specifically designed for like porn, like sex, things like that. A lot of anime games go along this way.
Oh, we did talk about that.
Yeah,
app,
we have like apps and things like that. Yeah, doing like porn game reactions, like porn game let's plays on Pornhub.
There's something ironic about drinking. So I'm drinking a little bit today. I'm not supposed to be drinking because I took my meds today. And I just Googled that my fucking medicine, what is it called? Like the side effects double with alcohol apparently. So that's a thing. And I just realized the irony of I'm drinking whiskey with a brain ice.
Yeah.
And that gold is
Yeah,
funny.
you have a nice little...
I'm exhausted. How are you doing, by the way? Sorry.
I'm doing pretty okay. I had a little bit of a nap earlier today, but I woke up fairly early.
I completely caught you in your tracks. Sorry. Porn games and
yeah,
reaction.
I'm actually doing
asshole.
like reactions for porn games and things like that. I think you'd enjoy it. Be like, what the heck is going on with this
I know,
story?
man. Last time you showed me that fucking belly button porn was weird.
I know, and it gets only weirder from there. Welcome to Japan.
Welcome to Japan. Is that like always Japan? Is it me or that camera angle is a little bit wrong? We're not centered.
We're not centered. It'll be fine. If you scoot like that way a little bit, I'll scoot this way a little bit. And,
It's the other way, dude.
is it the other? Shit.
Yeah, you have to go that way
There you go.
before you
There,
get
I'll
centered.
just-
And then I'm away from the microphone. God damn it to hell.
That's okay.
Nah, fuck it. I'll fix it.
Really? I'm fixing it right now?
What's the worst that can happen? Fuck the whole thing up?
Yeah.
Fine. There you go.
Well, you're in success.
There we go. Anyway, how you doing?
Yeah, pretty good. Was woken up a little early today, but you know, all things.
What time is early for you?
Today was 9:30.
A.M.?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've been up since 6 a.m. I took my son to school, and then he had a fucking field trip, and I had to go with him.
Oh no.
So I was late, and then by the time that was done, I had to come back home and just get ready to work, so I didn't get a nap or anything.
Jeez.
So then just went to work and came here and rushed to get the podcast going. So I'm exhausted. I actually wanted to like get drunk tonight, but for one, I just took my medication like at 7, which it's a bad mix, and two, I'm way too fucking tired. So I'm just like that little relaxed whiskey. That's that gentleman whiskey.
The gentleman whiskey.
I got 2 fingers. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, we haven't made that joke before, actually.
No,
I got
we
2
haven't.
fingers of whiskey. Yeah, you like 2 fingers, right?
Yeah, I like just about 2 fingers.
That's about as much as you want to take voluntarily. But
You take more fingers
yeah.
involuntarily.
I hear it happens. It's not my preference.
There's one we can talk about: fisting.
Fisting. We've talked about fisting.
we've talked
Dude,
about
there's
fisting.
almost no sexual subject we haven't talked about.
No, there's a lot of sexual subjects we haven't
we
talked
just
about.
don't know about
We
it.
just not only don't know about them, but are unwilling to talk about them sometimes. I'll tell you after the
How
podcast.
dare you? Are you implying there's something we don't want to talk about?
There's something that we need to become more educated on before I really go
fair.
into it.
Okay, that makes more sense than we don't want to talk about it. We don't want to talk about it without knowing anything.
Yeah, without knowing the proper.
So there
way
are
to
actually
handle these
kinks
things.
and deviancies out there. I'll take 3 fingers. We got out there. There are actual sexual deviancies and shit that neither of us have experience in.
Yeah.
And that's the weird part.
That's the weird one. That'll be the weird one. I'm excited. I've been diving into some deep holes that I'm kind of like starting to
Ooh.
learn some
Who doesn't
things.
like diving into some holes?
I mean,
Yeah.
it's getting weird. It's getting weird over here. One thing about like, I'm just gonna say that eyes are involved, and it's weird.
Oh no! Oh. Cheers, Russia. I miss your ass.
That made me sad.
Anyway, so what do we got? What do you have something about video game?
Yeah, so I was gonna do some little bit of video game stuff first, and then we can dive into some of the stuff that you're talking about that you want to talk about today. So if you guys haven't heard, Blizzard kind of did a crackdown on one of their streamers for supporting the Hong Kong riot protesters.
Oh fuck me! Are we getting political?
I'm not getting. I'm just.
You're just reporting.
I'm
the
just
news.
reporting. I'm just reporting. We're trying to keep as much political stuff out of this. So a lot of people have started doing backlash against against Blizzard for kind of opposing the sort of free speech of Hong Kong. A lot of other stuff. They took down a Mei statuette from like everywhere, which is their Chinese character in game, or I think one of them. I don't know. I don't play Overwatch
That's interesting.
anymore. So you can't really buy that anywhere, I think, except for the United States. I don't know if you can buy that here or not. I haven't confirmed, but so yeah, that's kind of like what's been going on in the gaming world recently. It's a little it's interesting to watch. I'm not going to state one way or the other what's right in this particular situation. There's plenty of news sources that you can go and get your own, fill of the situation. But yeah.
Oh, we also promised Joker spoilers, so
Yeah,
need to
so
discuss
Joker
that.
spoilers are probably going to be a thing. 2 weeks.
and I'm also going to warn you about next week. I'm spoiling the shit out of Jay and Silent Bob reboot, which there's no spoiling. Everything's in the fucking trailer. There is no secrets. in
Oh,
it.
okay.
The plot is pretty
Were we
stupid.
supposed to watch that today?
Well, I didn't buy the tickets.
Oh, fair enough.
I only bought the tickets for the Wednesday show. Today was a double showing, so it would have been like Strike Back and Reboot. And, like that's like a 4 or 5 hour thing.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
That's
I don't have it in me.
it's like some of the operas. I should take you
I
to
would
a
have to
nice
left early
long
work.
opera. Take you to like Boris Godunov or something. Just
If
8
you
hours
can take
of
me
opera.
to any show in a Pagliacci, I will watch the fuck out of the whole thing.
I'll
I've
see
seen
if
that.
I can-
I've seen that opera 3-4 times now.
I'll see if I can
love
find
it.
stuff. Yeah, so yeah, they made their protest. They made May their protest icon. And then apparently they changed their ruling on the ban. I don't know anything about that. I can do some research and get back to you on that if you really want to know.
If anybody's interesting.
I just thought it was interesting. I haven't played any Blizzard products in a very long time. I stopped playing Overwatch.
I have a Blizzard account with money in it that I have not touched, and it's something like $70-$80. Somebody gave me a gift card. And they're like, you should download the new blah blah blah, and I made the account, put the money in it, never touched it. I completely forgot about it, and I probably have to go back and like reset the password because there's no way I remember it now.
That's fair.
But chances are that that account exists there with a bunch of money there waiting for buying a game. I was hoping that like at some point I'll get curious and want one of those games, and never got around to it. We got a comment that says torture is amazing, the severe sexual kind. This actually brings to mind the subject we talked about last week, and we actually watched some of it. The wrestling match with the Fiend.
Right. Last week was a lot of wrestling.
There is the whole episode was about wrestling because this is one of my obsessions. But interestingly enough, it does connect. So a new theory came up about the Fiend's match was in red lighting in a cage match. Right? Mm-hmm. And at some point it stopped being a wrestling match and it became more of this one-sided guy destroying a fucking dead body, basically just beating a dead horse. Mm-hmm. That dude's on the floor, hits him with a chair, hits him with the ladder, hits him with the chair and the ladder and a toolbox and a sledgehammer. And somebody said that might be supposed to be representing a red room. And I looked it up. and the definition for red room is a torture room, usually streamed over the internet or the dark web.
Yes.
And it just so happens that not only was that a torture in a room, and it was streamed online because the WWE has their own network. So it's a specialized service that I signed up for. This is not on television. It's a specialized service that I'm paying monthly to be part of, to watch this stream live as a guy getting tortured in a room completely red lit. And it's like, wow, what a weird transition
Oddly
from
enough,
wrestling to this is a deviant, thing that somebody might have recognized.
Yeah.
Had
Yeah,
that been-
ooh.
What
Is
a weird...
is someone into that sort of thing over there?
No, for
WWE?
what, you know what's funny? A lot of wrestlers wear leather masks, and it's fucking hilarious. Because I think there was a guy that, like, you're holding a guy in a leather mask and underwear. You're holding him down, but not really. I think Joe Rogan said that, like, wow, yeah, wrestling's a little gay, I think.
Yeah, it really is. Like, from an outside's perspective, you're like, wow, this is all a little gay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I like
No.
it, but
There's a lot of gay wrestlers, I think. I don't know.
I mean, I'm into it. Like, this kind of one of
I've
those
always-
draws. See two big burly men.
I've always wondered
hold
if a
each
lot
other
of
down.
wrestlers must be poly because they have to travel. It's kind of like rock stars. They travel so much, there's no way they get to fuck their wives as often as they want to.
I don't know.
So
I
chances
don't know
are they have like a
anything on
green
that.
light, to like, hey, you're traveling, find yourself something. Also, they're fucking human beings on the top peak of their fucking body. Mm-hmm. Like, what do you call it? Like the physical...
Peak of physical fitness?
Yeah, so they probably want to fuck all the time.
I don't know.
I would assume. And like a lot of them probably in like testosterone and what is it, the other shit that they shoot for muscle stuff? I forgot what it's called.
What? Steroids?
Steroids, that's what I forgot what it was called. Wrestlers don't do steroids, do they?
Dude, why are you asking me? I have no idea. I'm not the wrestling dude. That's you. I would ask you, do wrestlers do steroids?
I used to be a big controversy. I hate that word so much. Controversy.
Yep.
Okay, I said it right. All right.
You
I
put
used
the
to-
right emphasis on things.
Fuck you. But it used to be a big thing on wrestling. I think they got sued for, I think they sued Vince McMahon for giving wrestlers steroids. And they changed their whole thing. And now I think there's sort of an untold policy where they do steroids when they're not under contract, when they're injured and working out and stuff. So they take like a sabbatical and they come back 6 months later jacked as fuck. And it's like, well, they don't test them when they're not working. They test them right before, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's an interesting. I think like Brock Lesnar, something happened with the UFC where he failed the drug test, because like he was technically training for wrestling. It's this whole thing. Anyway, moving on. Sorry about that. Wrestling. I just thought it was an interesting connection with the Fiend and the Red Room thing because I looked it up and the Red Room actually had that weird definition.
Yeah.
We really should have a segment where we just think of a word and define it and talk about the definition of a word. Because I truly believe language is like what saves a lot of discussions. If we can define
yeah.
a particular word, there is no argument anymore.
Oh, what was that quote? I don't know. You'll have to probably look it up or something. But like, if you wanted to debate with me, first define the terms. You know.
It'd be that simple. You know, on most religious debates, the definition is God. Mm-hmm. Define God and define exist. And the argument ends. Because if you can't define a God, you can't say he exists. If you can define a God and then you claim he exists, you need to address exist in the way that we understand existence. Mm-hmm. Does something that exists, like how do you confirm it exists? Something to manifest, something you can show, something you can touch, smell, see, perceive in some way. Mm-hmm. And if you say this thing that exists cannot be perceived in any way, it then doesn't exist by the definitions of exist that we commonly use. Try to pay attention to the language we've all agreed on. You know, it's so simple. Mm-hmm. It's amazing how simple that definition is. Like, what is a God? What is exist? Pretty simple. You define those, usually they don't go together by almost any definition, so it's kind of sad, but
yeah,
it kills that argument so fast.
Very quickly.
Because you can have hours debates about religion, but the whole God thing, God herself, I don't know if you...
I prefer Shklem.
Which, by the way, Kevin Smith... James Silent Bob reboot, I went and watched it. Oh, beautiful. But here's the thing. Did you know that Dogma is extremely difficult to find.
Really?
The movie Dogma is the most successful movie he's ever made.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. It's hilarious.
It's amazing. That motherfucking movie was made in 1999, and at that time, Miramax, guess who owned it? Disney.
Disney owned it?
So currently, Disney owns Dogma.
Does that mean God's a Disney princess?
Technically, yeah.
Oh my God, this is great. Oh, God's a Disney princess. Oh,
And it's a female.
And you know what that means? George Carlin is now the best minister instead of Frollo.
Absolutely. Oh, God, George Carlin.
George Carlin
There
is
was
now the best minister in Disney.
There was a reference to George Carlin in the new movie. Somebody was wearing a shirt with an old school Carlin shirt, and I'm like, that's fucking Carlin. I was just so happy.
I'm really happy about this.
But George Carlin. So there's a story about Kevin Smith actually talking to George Carlin about being in the movie Dogma. And when Carlin read the script, Carlin said, I have a feeling that I have something to do with the writing of this. And Kevin Smith was like, absolutely, I was inspired by a lot of your comedy to write about this. And it's like, maybe I should get some credit for the for the script. And it's like, he agreed to be in the movie. He was like, well, there's one problem here. My wife just died recently, and I'm not ready to take the wedding ring off. Can I put a band-aid over it? Because I'm supposed to be a priest, and obviously I'm not supposed to be married. And Kevin Smith's like, fuck yeah, put as many band-aids as you want. George Carlin's gonna be in my movie. It doesn't fucking matter. Fucking come. You know, Kevin Smith, like, it's amazing how, like, he just gets his heroes in the movie.
Yeah, it's really weird. He's really good at getting like a top tier people to be in like the dumbest things.
Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck wasn't the fucking review, like fucking Batman.
Yeah.
No, and he got to put his hands and footprints in the cement of the Chinese theater.
Oh yeah.
And that's a thing that just happened a couple days ago. And I shit you not, there was a speech by Ben Affleck and his daughter Harley Quinn. And it's like, you see what I did there? I got Batman and Harley Quinn to introduce Jay and Silent Bob.
Oh my God.
That was just, he's a fucking nerd. He's a straight up nerd. I fucking love it. Dude was crying like a bitch too, because that dude's, everything gets to him. But yeah, there's a couple moments in that damn movie that you're like, oh, and you start crying. Like, I cried twice in that fucking movie.
Oh.
Didn't expect it, but you know.
I'm assuming that there is a heart attack joke in there.
There is not.
There's no heart attack joke?
That would have been perfect. But honestly, there was a heart attack joke in the night that he had the heart attack.
I mean, that's fair.
That stand-up special had a fucking heart attack joke 10 minutes before he fucking had it. So, you know, that's as funny as that gets. But now he tried to make that movie, like, it's funny, but there's still kind of a message to it. And he's like, he defined it interestingly. He said that's his masterpiece. And not the masterpiece the way people usually define masterpiece. But he used the correct definition that apparently in the old days you had a prodigy, a student of yours, and you teach him all the stuff, and then the student will do, like, this is the demonstration of all the skills you taught me, and that is called a masterpiece. Just the piece you show the master to say, this is what I've learned.
Okay.
So that's what he called, like, his masterpiece. Like, this is all I've learned about filmmaking. Here's my piece. And we are the masters. We're like, as an audience, you're like, you know, did he do a good job? Has he learned enough about filmmaking? I mean,
That's
it's
interesting.
come a long way from the black and white Clerks.
I mean, yeah.
Which I still hold the argument. Clerks is the exact antithesis of The Room.
Right. We talked about that before.
Yeah, and anyway, but yeah, movies.
What movie? I'm excited to see it.
So the Joker.
Yeah. So we're moving on to the Joker. So if you haven't seen it,
please watch it or pause
watch
here.
it. Pause here. Pause here.
And
Pause this live stream.
Pause the live stream.
We will not be here when you get back.
So we watched the Joker 2 weeks ago on opening night. Oh my god, it was amazing.
It was a good movie.
It was
a good movie. I liked it a lot.
I need to rewatch it. I think it demands a second watch.
I actually think I would like to go back and see it a second time as well. Yeah, I think
it demands a second watch, and I have a feeling we might discover that more things were in his head than we think. I have this one of the biggest fucking things that are in my head, because the whole movie flows in such a good way that you understand the story being told. There is no doubt in my head about what's being told, right?
Right.
In some cases, you see these transitions kind of like King of Comedy, where you're seeing a delusion technically, but they don't tell you this until later on. Now, there's a scene in The Joker where he empties the fridge and gets in it.
Right.
Zero explanation as to why that happened. or what happened after that, what that led to. But
Yeah.
because there's a lot of theories about how this was an attempted suicide and he might have succeeded, and everything else after that,
Is just
it's all in the synapses in his head going because he's about to die. Now, can you die in the fridge? Is that even a
I'm not
method of
gonna-
suicide that used to be used a long time ago?
I have no idea. I wasn't expecting this question. I didn't look it
I'm
up.
sorry.
To me, it seems kind of impractical because when your body goes limp, you have a
would open
tendency
the fridge,
to
right?
to spread out. And if you granted, he doesn't weigh a lot, so someone like me trying to kill myself in a
Yeah.
fridge would be nigh impossible because my arm weighs
Now-
enough to just move the door.
It is important to remark this happened in the 80s, where fridges might have been a little bit hardier
That's
than
fair.
the pieces of shit we got this time.
I mean, again, that's fair, but it's like the question still stands: is he weighty enough to move the door when
Yeah.
when he goes
when
limp?
it goes limp, yeah. That's always something that I remember seeing about people, basically people passing, holding your breath to kill yourself. Like, well, the moment you pass out, you start breathing again. You can't not breathe after you passed out. Like you, I mean, unless you're trying to do that in the water, I guess. I don't know. Which is actually common, right? You pass out in the water, and that's when you start breathing in water, and
Yeah, and that's when you
and then you die.
and then you die.
And then you die. But so, so there was another theory that I watched about. At the end, he says this is a joke and you wouldn't get it. And many things are like, why would he tell the story about Bruce Wayne's parents dying if he wasn't there? He didn't witness that. Mm-hmm. It was like, I don't think they told that as if he was telling that part, right? I think we were just seeing it happen.
Yeah, I think we're just seeing it happen. Also, it'd be something that he saw it probably in the either in the papers or on the news,
Yeah.
or something like that. We know that they have, he got the news somehow, and he's like, well, this is what happened, because it probably said, clown riot massacre, Bruce Wayne and wife found dead in alleyway or something like that, to which he would immediately assume would be his reasoning, his thinking it was all him.
Imagine if the person who killed the parents was actually Jack Nicholson's version of the Joker.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Because again, he is the Joker in the Tim Burton universe.
Right.
The Joker actually does kill that version of the Joker, the gangster Joker, because that's a gangster dude. He's out for money, which is a weird thing. Anyway, one of the other things that I never noticed until I saw reviews and theories and all that shit. I've been all over that shit. Is that the room when you see at the end that he's in the asylum?
Right.
The walls are all white. Yet earlier in the movie, when you see him go into that exact same place,
They're kind of like
are yellow.
Yeah, they're like a yellowish color.
They're yellow and brown, which again is minor little thing that I'm like, what? Now another one is, did he hallucinate being given the gun?
Ooh, that's a good one.
That was because it's like he hallucinated that guy being nice to him, and then he thinks, oh, that guy fucked me over. He gave me a gun and then reported that I was trying to buy it from him. Is it possible he actually did buy the gun somewhere else, and just imagined him being nice to him?
I think
That's a
I think I
whole-
would want to go back through and see when exactly did he stop taking his medications, and the severity of
when everything starts kind of twisting.
Yeah,
in a
when
weird
everything really starts to twist.
Yeah.
I would want to go through and rewatch it for that, just to see when things start twisting, because the big twist, when the chick turns out to not actually be dating him at all.
Yeah, that's happened. That was a House moment. That happened in House with the Vicodin.
was. Yes.
And they just flashback. I'm almost certain that's the inspiration, because that exact moment happened with House, where he hallucinated a bunch of things sexual with Cuddy, I think. And spoiler alert, by the way, if you haven't seen House. At some point he hallucinates. I think it's season 5. It's a season finale, and he hallucinates a whole relationship with Cuddy. And then at some point she's like, "Oh, you just said that one thing." And they're like, "Wait, that's not what happened." And you're still seeing flashbacks of every single thing that led to that was him taking pills every single time instead of ended up being with her. So that whole relationship was hallucinated, and that was very interesting. It brought me right back to House, which again, it must be the reference there, because I can't think of any other movie where that has happened like that.
I don't know.
Where it's just flashbacks like, oh shit, she wasn't there. Oh shit, I was by myself that time. So that was a beautiful fucking movie. I bet it was just.
It was really good. I liked it a lot.
Another one is at the beginning when they take the sign away from him and they beat him up.
Yeah.
If you see there's actually I recommend it highly on YouTube. The director Todd Phillips actually describes talks through the first scene and says what they were thinking, how they were focusing on it. And if you notice, once he gets beaten up and the sign is in pieces and he's fucked up and he's like that, you can see him kind of like reach for the sign, almost like I can still fix this. This is still, and he turns his hand and goes like this and presses the thing that squirts the water on the flower, which is a beautiful fucking moment because if you think of the psychology there, it's like, this isn't that bad. Let's make a joke. That's where his mind is. It's like, I'm still being a funny clown, even though he's just.
Be nice to your clowns, guys. Come on.
Goddamn right. Be nice to your clown.
Be nice to your clowns.
I'm a clown.
You know, just do exactly what they tell you always. Sewer grates, go right through them.
So how do you feel about this whole thing about...
Please tell me you got that joke.
No, I didn't hear
That was
you.
a Pennywise joke.
Motherfucker, what did you say?
It was be nice to your clowns. Do whatever they tell you. If you're in a sewer grate, go right through it.
Yeah, got it.
Sewer drain, just follow them right in.
The moment you said that, I was reaching for my drink and I was like, oh, this is terrible for me. I was talking to myself and I'm like, oh, you said something? Fuck. I'm a terrible listener. Also, I'm exhausted and I'm getting tipsy really fast. This is like 2 fingers. Like, what is this? Like a shot and a half?
Yeah, if that.
And I'm getting tipsy off of this fucking thing.
Jeez, wow, that's really bad. That was like when I was like really losing my weight.
We need to go to Whataburger. Like, I'm fucking hungry.
Yeah, I have about 400 calories left. I've been every single day. I've been drinking a shake for
breakfast.
One of my friends recommended to me called Keto Chow. Not breakfast, just one of the meals, just supplementing one of the meals with it.
You fucking deviant.
And because I didn't want to do like the whole thing, because it's not how I lost weight, and things have been going pretty well. I haven't really noticed much of a difference. Some things I have been noticing, I'm actually a little bit hungrier than usual. I don't know why, but you know, it could just be one of those things that I'm also.
Could that be connected to like depression?
Again, it could also be due to the fact that things have been going a little rough in my life recently. So, you know, it could just be that. I'll have to see.
Yeah. That sucks. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean,
I feel like it's weird because I keep looking at my life. I just made a really big Facebook post about like I haven't posted anything in a while.
Yeah.
Posted a few pictures of my last 2 weeks or so, and it's like I had this, I did this, I did this. God damn, my life is fucking awesome. And somehow like I come home and I'm like, fuck. I
have to live a life. Oh,
yeah,
crap.
like, I gotta wake up again. Fuck.
Can we just call it here? Can we just end it?
Yeah, done with the podcast. You know what you fucking get, dude. That is such a Joker moment. That is the most Joker moment in the entire movie.
Oh yeah.
You know what you get when a fucking society doesn't give a fuck about people, and you treat someone like crap. You get what you fucking deserve, and just fucking spoiler alert. That's a beautiful fucking moment at the end of the movie. I don't know. It's kind of a, what do you call it? You know what I was thinking?
Kind of cathartic, I guess.
Cathartic is the term I was thinking of. You know what I just found out? If you're a customer service person, like if your job is to take shit from customers, one of the best shows to watch is called Hardcore Pawn. Have you ever heard of this show?
No, I haven't.
You've heard of Pawn Stars?
Yes.
It's a famous one.
Yes.
There's a counter to that. So Pawn Stars is in Vegas.
Right.
Hardcore Pawn is a pawn shop. It's a real pawn shop that is in 8th Mile, which is in Detroit, Michigan.
Yeah.
And it's a broke ass city full of people.
Yeah.
And
Detroit is not known for being well assembled.
Yeah. So if you watch, like, go on YouTube. I could not find any streaming services that provides the whole thing. I would love to find the full like seasons of that show.
I guess we'll have to go acquire it from Nautical Adventures that acquire things.
Yeah.
Sorry, a cape of Nautical Adventures that acquire things.
Cheers. That was a brilliant way of putting that. Thank you. You facilitated. Which, by the way, I have to get Dogma that way.
Really?
This is what I was telling you about Disney thing. There is no digital version of Dogma anywhere. So no iTunes, no Google Play, no like Netflix is never gonna be on those streaming services. Dogma, like people have asked Kevin Smith, like what's with Dogma? And it's like Disney owned Miramax at the time. It's just never gonna happen. Disney, like there was a Catholic revolt against that fucking movie.
Oh my
And
god.
so they Disney basically will refuse to release the fucking movie Dogma. So that movie Disney still owns it. There's nothing they can do.
Dang, man.
And they're never gonna release Dogma.
People need to, I guess
publicly.
people who are listening or stuff, I would say go acquire that movie from Nautical Adventures, a Cape of Nautical Adventures, that acquire
I like your
things.
definitions there, yeah.
Yeah, because that's a good movie. It's funny.
Take what
it's
you
funny as
can.
Shit. Yeah, give nothing back.
Tears. That gives better hints than what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean,
Some
yeah.
people might not be linguists,
Yeah, that one's a little weird. That one was a little weird.
but yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how I have to obtain Dogma. I've been watching, like before I went to the reboot, I watched all the Mallrats, Chasing Amy, Strike Back.
Bet you watched Tusk again.
2. Well, Tusk I've seen enough that I can probably
Yeah,
quote
that's-
it. And
I
I don't
don't
think
like Tusk
they
nearly as
they didn't
much.
reference Tusk.
Really?
They did not.
Not even like a whale penis, or sorry, a walrus penis?
I think they made fun of Kevin Smith making a walrus movie.
Oh, okay. That's at least
Because
that's good.
That movie's meta as fuck. Kevin
Yeah.
Smith is in the movie.
Yeah.
And then at some point, Harley Quinn, his daughter,
Yeah, and his daughter and,
is there.
and
They introduced.
and Johnny Depp's daughter.
Oh no, she's not in it.
No?
Not in this one. Was it Spider? Do you hear at all what?
Mark 1 of
This is
our-
not the time to talk about
Yeah.
work, bro. Do not out me of where I work, because I'm not supposed to talk about that. So text me. I'm interested, but this is not like I don't want to publicly talk about that. This is a guy I work with at the.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, so I can't talk about that. But thank you though. Thank you for watching. So in the movie, at some point, Harley Quinn Smith is like in the crowd, and
Right.
Kevin Smith comes on stage. He's like, "I hate this guy. He puts his kid in every movie he makes." I was like, "Wow, that was brilliant. That was a brilliant like break."
I thought we weren't going to spoil anything.
Well, I mean, that's a dumb little woman. Yeah. Also, Kevin Smith spoils it in interviews too.
Oh, I mean, that's
So
fair. Yeah.
he basically says, "I didn't keep any secrets." I'm very mad that Mark Hamill wasn't in it.
Aw.
I'm very upset about that because he should have been. He's Cogknocker.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, they're doing a reboot thing of the Cogknocker is about to come out.
Mm-hmm.
Like a fucking fist comes through a wall, and it's like, oh shit, and then they cut. And they're like, wait, what? So yeah, I'm in. But yeah, so I forgot there's a little crown on the.
Yeah, there's
It's
a
like a
tiny little
three-dimensional
crown in
thing.
the...
Fucking lost my train of thought. Fuck you in the ass.
Right here on stream. Hey, we're on Pornhub now. We can actually theoretically do that. I mean, we can't do that on Twitch.
We might
won't-
have to
we'll
in order to
cut
stay on Pornhub.
We have to cut the thing. I don't know. If we shove a...
Should
if
we do it
shove
shirtless?
The Satan's toe up my ass, that'll...
Should we do the podcast
Yeah, just
shirtless?
like lift up our shirt like this every once in a while. Just
Yeah.
be like, yep.
There's porn involved. There's some titties in here. Yeah, it's just. What do we have to do? You know, Penn Jillette used to have on his podcast implants, like.
Yeah,
Just the silicone implants.
silicone implants. Oh,
and he
we
would
should get
play
some
with
of
them.
those.
Yeah, we should probably buy some of those to just have them. Like, I'm wondering what we'd have to do to stay on Pornhub. I wonder at some point, like, there's no fucking porn here. So.
Oh, people put non-porn stuff all the time on Pornhub.
That is true. There was
It'll be fine.
There was a video of what is it? Founding Fathers getting naughty, and it was all Hamilton.
Yeah, it was just it was
And
the Hamilton
there's another
stuff.
one like why.
I've seen entire documentaries on Pornhub and have watched them like straight up like Discovery Channel documentaries, old Discovery Channel, not new Discovery Channel, documentaries.
I presume
on
Pornhub
Pornhub.
doesn't have as good a system as YouTube at recognizing, nautical stuff.
Things acquired by nautical means. Yeah,
Yeah, they don't have as good a system. Probably they don't give a shit enough.
probably not.
Presumably,
All I know is that for us to get, we're technically a gay couple now, so you know.
technically, yeah.
According
We're
to
signed up on
Pornhub-
Pornhub as a gay couple.
Yeah, according to Pornhub, we have to be like if you look it up, like we have to be a couple.
You know,
And it's
the only way
a
to sign up.
same-sex couple, male, and like okay, there you go. That's what we are.
Yeah. We are male. We are the same sex.
Yeah.
We are.
At least last time I checked, I don't know.
We're a couple idiots. Like shit. Man.
Hey, let me check him.
Good one.
Look, I can confirm myself. I can't confirm you.
I'm almost certain you've seen my dick.
Yeah, that's true. I have.
We're not
We're not going to bring that up. How about this? I'm willing to bring that up. You want to bring that up on the podcast?
Shit. I was gonna go sure. I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
No,
Okay, let's leave it.
I don't know who listens to this shit. And then
Yeah, I don't know who listens to
That's
this.
definitely one of those
One of those stories. Maybe some other time. If we get really popular, share this with your friends and stuff. If we get really popular,
Make
I'll
us
just
famous.
share it. I'll just share it.
Speaking of which, if you guys want to join this is a good point in the middle of the podcast to like, just plug the podcast. This is the Friggin' the Deviant, the podcast about deviant
Good
behavior.
plug. Good plug.
Anything and everything that might label you a freak or a deviant by regular society. It's exactly what we like to talk about. I got that speech down. And if you
Philip DeFranco over here.
I know, right? What's up? What's up, beautiful bastards? I just started the show like that. One of these.
Oh my god!
But if you guys like to join the conversation, if you're listening for the first time, we are live on Twitch, YouTube. What else are we live?
Soon to be Pornhub.
And soon to be Pornhub and freakingdeviant.com. We are actually live on the website freakingdeviant.com now. There's actually a link to the YouTube stream. So join the conversation if you're interested in kind of talking to us, joke around. We'll fuck around a lot and just kind of whatever subject you might want to bring about. We'll definitely go in depth about some of our experiences that we might have on it, or just we're curious as to why you feel like a deviant. Why do you feel like a freak? This is a group therapy session.
Hi, my name is Alexander, and I'm 12 months sober of sticking things in places where they shouldn't go.
My name is Spider. I have a brain tumor that makes me have low testosterone, and alcohol fucks that up, apparently. I just learned that recently.
Yeah, recently. Recently.
My medicine actually doesn't work well with alcohol, so I'm not supposed to be drinking.
Says the person with whiskey in their hand.
Well, I'm not getting drunk. Again,
He says you.
it's just me. Shit. Fair enough. But no, I should probably read the definition because it's interesting. This is one of those things that make me interesting, right? I have a brain tumor. His name is Thomas. It's right behind my left eye. It's about yay big.
For people who are not watching the podcast, it's about the size of maybe what a small peanut
marble
kernel.
Yeah, a marble or something like that. Yeah. So it's I've had it since I think they found it in 2010. I think so. It's about been 9 years or something with me doing that medication.
Your tumor's 9 years old. So cute.
As far as I know, yeah.
It might be older.
They might be older. I just didn't know about it. And they told me that in most cases of this particular tumor, people never notice they had it. They live their entire lives with a tumor, having low testosterone or whatever weird hormone disorder, and they never notice. They have quirks on their hormones, and nobody cares. So, but mine is it's called a prolactinoma. It is in the pituitary, which fucks the hormones, and it makes my prolactin go high and my testosterone go down. Which, if anybody knows what prolactin is, do you know what prolactin is?
No, keep going.
Prolactin is the hormone that makes women lactate. And apparently,
do you lactate?
I do not. And every time I go to
we should work on that.
fuck you. I have a feeling that if
male lactation, that's going to be a fetish that I need to search on
that is
Pornhub.
definitely
On
a fetish.
Pornhub.
Yeah. So every time I go get checked and stuff, they squeeze and see if anything happens. They're interested because it again is one of the side effects of having too much prolactin.
Dude,
you start lactating.
I can just imagine giving you a titty twister and suddenly it's wet.
Oh god, that's just weird. But yeah, so I take a pill twice a week to try to keep that down. They recently doubled my dose because my prolactin was still high. Even within the medication, they got a blood test and they're like, your prolactin's still high now. And this is after 9 years of taking that medication. So it's possible either the tumor's growing or the medication, I'm becoming immune to it. Mm-hmm. So they double the dose and, that's my next thing. And just out of curiosity, because they said your side effects might be a little stronger with a double dose. And I'm like, all right, what are the side effects? Because I remember buying the bottle the first time and one of the side effects was gambling, which I thought was weird. And it's risky behavior, and I'm like, I get it. Testosterone. I can see that.
Testosterone will increase your risky behavior.
And so I just Googled the name of my medicine, which is cabergoline, and alcohol. Those two words together, and it gave me a full sentence. Alcohol
That's almost a paragraph.
Well, a paragraph, that's what I meant. But it gave me a very specific result rather than a bunch of pages. It gave me very specific. Alcohol can increase the nervous system side effects of covergolin, such as dizziness, drowsiness, and difficulty concentrating. Some people may also experience impairment on thinking and judgment. You should avoid or limit the use of alcohol while being treated with covergolin. So, I guess I gotta pick the days that I actually get drunk at. Mm-hmm. Because that might explain the few times that I blacked out.
You right after your medication.
It might have been the day I
did some heavy drinking.
Drinking right after. I might have completely, and it doesn't counter affect the medication. It's still doing what it's supposed to do. Okay. However, it says that it will make the side effects more aggressive, and the side effects are that over masculine bullshit, the gambling, risky behavior, impaired judgment.
I mean, so far you've never hit somebody, so.
No, I'm not aggressive at all, but I am sexually deviant,
more sexually deviant while you've been drinking.
Yeah, and I think one of the things is I'm more, but that's an alcohol thing. I'm more honest. I'm already honest in general. Like, I will say some inappropriate shit in front of people that I'm not supposed to be open about, with. But yeah, if I'm like a little tipsy or something and I find someone attractive, I'm like, I like your tits. Your tits look very nice. I just pour that shit out. I don't care if I'm gonna get slapped for that. I never have been, but I understand that.
Honestly,
in some scenarios, I'm not being like, "Hey, let me touch him." It was like it's an opinion I have in my head, and I say it out loud. I just shouldn't. I know in some situations you're not supposed to, say shit like that, but I don't have a filter. In general, even sober, I don't have a filter.
Your filter loosens with alcohol?
Yeah, I guess so.
It's like one of those water filters that just sags when you put
It's already a filter with holes in it, and I guess the alcohol just kind of... I have a shitty filter, and then the alcohol just...
As long as you don't use that for, where you would use a condom, I think you'll be fine. Why do you drink whenever I'm about to tell a joke?
I didn't know. I wanted a sip of my whiskey. I didn't know you were going to tell a joke. You don't have a joke sign joking coming, loading.
Oh, I should have a little sign that I lift up that it has joking coming. Just for you, Spider.
That was a Big Bang Theory joke, actually.
Really? I don't watch Big Bang Theory at all.
Oh, you never seen it?
No.
It's an acquired taste.
That's exactly what I keep hearing. That's why I never watch it. It's it's kind of like an acquired taste. It's like, well, I don't want to acquire a taste.
It's basically a silly translation of the It Crowd, which you've probably seen.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a more easier to understand nerd culture.
Okay, fair enough.
Thing. For people that are not nerds.
Then for people who are not nerds.
Because the IT crowd, the IT crowd is actually...
It's pretty nerdy.
You need to be a nerd to understand it.
It's pretty nerdy. They go into some pretty in-depth stuff. I was not expecting several of the nuclear engineering jokes that came out of there, and I was like, what?
But yeah, so there's a joke in there where it's like, do I have to carry a fucking sarcasm sign for you to understand sarcasm? And it's there's a guy in there called Sheldon that doesn't understand sarcasm. Which, by the way, he's a replica of Monk. Back in the day, Monk was the OCD quirky dude that everybody loved.
Yeah, I love
nowadays
Monk.
It's Sheldon that is basically that character. It's the same.
Oh man, go back to Monk.
So yeah, Monk was the shit. But anyway, at some point,
leave us a message if you guys remember Monk.
Yeah, Monk.
The movie,
it's
the
a jungle out there. I forgot the name. Anyway, but at some point, somebody's like, so what kind of doctor can take a shoe out of an ass? And we're like, well, depending on the depth, it could be a proctologist or just a general practitioner. The guy just writes sarcasm on a piece of paper. Sarcasm. That was an insult.
The problem is, on my end, I would be like, oh, that's pretty easy. Let me, I could probably take a shoe out of your ass. Yeah, it's pretty easy.
There's an answer to you just kick something.
I just kicked the table.
Stop kicking the table.
Too tall for this world.
You table kicker.
I'm only 6 feet.
Shame.
Yeah, nice.
I'll show people appreciate the noise.
Yeah, right.
Sorry,
into
I just
right
killed my
into the
whiskey here.
microphone.
That was pretty much water. I think my whiskey dissipated a long time ago. That was just the ice melting.
And that's why they have whiskey stones, which I never.
Yeah, but
really
I kind of like watered
understood.
down whiskey. Whiskey by itself might.
Wouldn't whiskey stones scratch up the glass a little? I don't know. Maybe you get metal ones.
Whiskey what?
Whiskey stones. You just
the metal ones.
Yeah, metal whiskey.
I have plastic frozen balls that I can put into drinks when I don't want to water it down. That's for like wine or soda. I don't put that in whiskey because I like whiskey getting more and more tame.
While you're drinking it, so that you aren't
Yeah.
just drinking hard whiskey.
Yeah, I mean,
the
if I'm trying to
entire
get
time.
fucked up, I'll take a shot. If I'm gonna be
That's
sipping
fair.
on it, I like that little smooth.
I don't know. I kind of like.
transition.
I mean, you know mine. Where I like whenever I have my rum and cokes, I don't like ice in my rum and cokes.
Yeah, you like it the way it is.
I like it the way it is because I really don't like the watering down of that. I like drinking it for the taste of rum and coke. So
So,
really, really good. I
yeah,
love my rum and coke.
we haven't bought any kind of fancy rum in a
I
while.
need to go back and buy some of that fancier rum.
I did have an interesting. Okay, we talked about the Rec Room. Let's go with regret. No, fuck it, compression. All right.
I'm having some regrets.
This is a weird segue. So you remember you've told in multiple times in this podcast. I've asked you for that German word that means enjoying someone else's suffering.
Right, which is Schadenfreude.
I can never say that.
It's German. I don't expect you to.
And it doesn't have a translation to other languages in most cases.
In
right?
most cases, yeah.
So-
it's more like it's a complex idea that is.
It means the
defined into a single
enjoying of
word.
someone else's suffering.
Yes. The enjoyment of someone else's suffering.
Yeah. So I found out recently, there was this Facebook post about polyamory, and I found out that there is a term for the exact opposite of that term. The term is compersion. Compersion.
Well, it may not be the exact opposite, but it's
But it's antithesis in some
Yeah.
way. Compersion. It says the feeling of joy associated with the seeing of two or one sexual romantic partners having a sexual romantic relationship with them, coined as an antonym of sexual romantic jealousy.
interesting.
So isn't that an interesting definition? So this is something I never used before. That's a very new word. So I should probably use it. Yeah. But yeah, so it's an interesting word that I didn't realize had an actual term for it, and it doesn't. Well, I mean, this is specifically a sexual or romantic partner, not just another person.
Yeah, two of one's sexual or romantic partners having a sexual or romantic relation between them.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you have two sexual partners, them getting it on gets you on.
Yeah, that's somewhat. I mean, there's also a kink. I was actually listening to a radio station earlier where they talked about that. It's like, it's when a guy gets, I think it's cuckold is the term, when a guy gets off.
Yeah, the guy
watching.
gets cucked.
Is that what do you call it? Is that an open relationship or is that just a kink that they're using another person for? Right.
Fair enough.
Because
I actually do not know anyone in my circles that likes getting cucked. So
cucked is short for cuckold.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's an old term,
as like
right?
an official.
Because
Yeah.
that word is in Hamilton.
Yeah, it's an old term.
It's an old term. Oh yeah.
It's an old term. Like none of the people I know in my personal circle have that as like a kink. Now outside that, I have met people, but they are not in my like general vicinity.
So you don't have the experience or like memories.
Yeah,
that
I really don't
connect to
have
that.
it's
maybe
not
this
something
is
that
not-
I've ever explored. It's also something that I really don't like personally. It's one of those kinks that I
Yeah.
kind of
it's-
looked at. Well, you kind of look at from a distance and go, yeah, maybe no, thank you. I think I'm good
Yeah,
actually. Like hardcore filleting of the skin. Yeah, definitely. You don't have to try that one to know that you probably won't like it. It's just one of those things.
Now, this goes right into that memory we were trying not to talk about.
We don't have to
Is
bring
it-
it up.
is
We
this
don't
the
have
time?
to. We don't have to bring it up.
It's such an example. It's exactly that because if I'm not mistaken, you claim to have enjoyed.
No, I didn't claim to.
No?
We'll talk about this later.
All right.
If you don't want to go into that,
Okay. Oh man.
you probably shouldn't be drinking. And
I'm pretty sure we already
podcasting.
said everything that needs to be said for them to know.
No,
Deduce what we're
there's
talking
a
about.
lot.
Anyway.
There's a lot going on there.
No, there's definitely okay.
There's a lot going on there.
But so my other thing that I wanted to talk about particularly is regret. So this is just one of those things that goes right to my phrase for the Pride Parade. You are strong enough to be yourself.
Right.
I despise feeling this regret thing, and I was just analyzing it to myself. Why is it that I don't regret much? Like, there are many things that happen in my life
I really only have one regret.
that
So.
I would have done differently had I known differently. But you can't really regret something if you didn't actually know better.
I only really have one segment because one portion of my life where, like, if given that same opportunity again, just given a little bit more compassion, I would have changed the crap out of it.
That calcium from the, because this comes from the lake.
Oh,
Yeah, so
extra calcium.
The calcium on the fucking water. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, so I mean, other than that one thing, I don't really have any regrets. I don't think.
Yeah, I'm pretty much certain I don't regret anything. And like, I had an unplanned kid. Don't regret that shit. I got married to someone I shouldn't have got married to. Don't really regret it. Everything seems to have led to something at some point or another, so I don't really regret. And it's not like I would have made a different decision. I think that's something that I had a discussion about free will, which we really should talk about one of these days.
Oh boy.
Where is it like,
Boy.
given the information you had at that time, could you have made a different decision? Now,
In my particular case, yes, I could have.
You could have. Oh, okay.
Yes, I could have. Given my actions were not based on knowledge; they were based purely on an emotional.
See,
drawback.
yeah, and this is something I refuse to do. I don't make decisions like that. So,
To be fair, I was younger at the time.
okay, so that's
young.
a decent excuse, I suppose.
I was young. I was dumb. It's nothing that crazy. My family knows about it. I don't know if my siblings want me to talk about it on the podcast, so I won't mention it. But I might bring it up next week if I get the okay to tell them. It's nothing crazy.
Interesting.
But matter of fact, it's remarkably tame considering some of the things that I've
That we
talked
talked
about
about
on
here, yeah.
this podcast. But
enough.
that's all like my stuff,
it's
not like involving someone else.
It's your story to tell, so that's fair.
Yeah. So like.
But I think one of the things that I believe happens very often with people that have regret is that you make a decision that is not something you want. I think that's the only things people usually. I could be wrong. This is just my assumption. This is my experience. When a decision is to be made, and you make a decision that is not based on what you want, but like, what will they say of me? What would this, how can I please this other person? Mm-hmm. Those are the decisions you end up regretting.
Even some of those decisions, I've made those decisions before, but at the time, like even making that decision, let's say you want someone else to feel a certain way, like what will you want to improve your relationship with another person, I still made that decision to pursue that part. Like it is not something like that I felt like was being commanded over me, whereas in my other situation where I not only had all the information, I made an emotional outburst and made a mistake.
And you knew that wasn't the correct decision.
And that wasn't the correct decision.
Interesting.
But I made the wrong choice and knew all of the outcomes when I made the choice. Like I had full knowledge, and I just chose the wrong one. And it's like, yep, that's one regret. Boom, right there.
That is definitely regret material right there.
It is like I had all the information.
I have been wrong before. Like I made decisions that turned out to be not the best. Or incorrect, straight up. I said the wrong thing, did the wrong thing. But very often, if not most times, it's because I didn't know what I needed to know that was the wrong decision. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? At the time, you make the decision that is the best, the most honest, the one that follows what you're trying to pursue. Mm-hmm. And that's how I live my life, right? Like if I want to do that, money, this person's gonna get mad at you, this might be inconvenient. Like fucking convenience, this is the thing I want to do.
Right.
I pursue that. You have no idea how inconvenient this fucking podcast is to make sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's what I want to do.
I don't even hear half the time. Like
You
show up
get here 30
end.
seconds before we start airing, but it's a fucking inconvenience a lot of the time. Many times I'm like fuck, and I'm exhausted.
Today's days like today.
Yeah, days like today where I just had to run around like I did. I did the dad. I did a shift of dad.
Well, hopefully with the new part of
shift to work.
Pornhub, like I can help supplement some of our viewer base on there and
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
stream or something like that on there.
I feel like for Pornhub, we should have a particular like some episodes that are more Pornhub friendly, where we review Pornhub videos, where we react to Pornhub videos.
Yeah, I'm
Something
into
that
it.
more open, that is not gonna be on YouTube. It's not gonna be on Twitch.
Yeah.
It's definitely not gonna be on my Facebook.
No.
So
None of that. That
you
is
know,
for Pornhub only.
we could probably still release the audio for the podcast itself. Can we do that?
Yeah, we could probably release
We're
the
just
audio.
not gonna stream the video
Oh
reactions.
God, are we about to do this like 2 times a week?
Oh God, I didn't think of that. No. We could probably make a special section for Pornhub at the end of our podcast.
Oh yeah, so at the very
cut
end,
out the video streams for them, stay live on Pornhub, or like now to the Pornhub section. You know what I mean? Or maybe at the beginning. or at the end.
we could like cut the first part of the stream there,
Yeah.
move on to the second part of the stream where we just go audio only.
Yeah,
and
audio
you guys
only and live
will
on
might
Pornhub, yeah.
be able to follow us on Pornhub and actually be on that segment.
Yeah, like actually say like, so for those of you who want to see some of the R-rated shit, we're about to shut down this stream. Go to Pornhub.com, look for Freaking the Deviant.
Yeah.
And continue
that's
to watch
pretty cool.
the R-rated version.
I mean,
That'd be
it'd be like 1 o'clock in the morning. We should have like a Whataburger break or
it's an
something.
after hours.
Yeah, like a Whataburger break, and then we come back and do the Pornhub thing. That'd be pretty cool.
Would you do like, now I'm thinking, would you do pornographic stuff for Pornhub, like showing I'm thinking more like showing how like a flashlight.
Oh no, I'd totally be down
bring
with.
some
I
dildos
bring
out
my
and
flashlight.
start
I bring my flashlight. I
demonstrating a
bring
couple
my
things.
my dildos, like all that
I
stuff.
want you to give our fans a lesson on how to suck dick, because I hear you're good at it.
Yeah, I could actually do a demonstration of sucking
With
dick.
a dildo, right? Like you
Yeah.
can, not with me.
I mean,
Shut the fuck up. That's not. That's not.
I would have to ask someone very in particular before I was able to do that.
Okay. But
Though given the opportunity, I
interesting.
probably would.
but yeah, no. So this is again, it'll be an interesting, like, what kind of content can we make if we're airing our shit on Pornhub after we're no longer live on
Yeah,
Twitch or
we can
YouTube?
open it up to also suggestions and things.
Yeah,
like
if
that.
you guys have any
Yeah.
suggestions, again, freakingdeviant@gmail.com. Again, go to freakingdeviant.com for any information. You can find our Twitch, our YouTube channel. I suppose you can find my Facebook, but I'm not sure if I want all our fans to just add me on Facebook.
Yeah, that'd be a little bit weird. I mean, especially if some of our people who are like downloading the podcast off of Google Play or in
Yeah, people in other countries that might not know me at all, so like it might be a little weird to have them on my Facebook. But
yeah, it would be a little weird.
but I mean, if you're interested, there's ways to find me. I'm not a hidden person. I'm very public. And
I'm far
the
more
same-
hidden than you are.
Yeah, the same website that links to this podcast links to all my profiles on every kind of social media, so people can find me. I'm not.
Oh, dude, you know what I can do? Start doing speed runs of porn games.
Speedruns. You're such a weirdo. That's such a weird thing to try to go. We already got one fan here. I love this. Can't wait until you launch it.
I think
It'd be
it's gonna be
fascinating.
fun.
Yeah.
I'm gonna work on it this week. I'm gonna get everything up and running. All I need from you is I think we need a picture for our thing, and then we need to get verified.
You want me to send you the profile picture that we use? I have a.
Yeah,
the
we
one
also
that has a
we can
schedule.
also do the verification tonight.
Oh, like after the podcast?
Yeah,
we
after
can
the
try that.
podcast, do the verification. It's gonna be a little weird, but it's gonna be funny.
Do we have to kiss for it or
No, all we have to do is write a sign together.
write a sign together?
Yeah, I'll show you the thing. It's like
This
it's
is very
weird.
interesting. Yeah,
I know it's kinky.
So
it's
we have,
super
we have
hot,
to prove we're gay,
sensual.
right? Is this
Yeah,
like
we
is
have
this
to
like
prove our
what is it
gayness.
chucking? What is it chucking? Something get married?
What? Oh yeah, with the
Adam Sandler
with Adam
and
Sandler and the guy who's
Kevin James.
Yeah, Kevin James. Thank you.
That happened in the reboot movie. They
Really?
keep saying Kevin James instead of Kevin Smith.
Oh.
That fucking Kevin James guy. It's like, oh, nah. Nobody corrects him. But yeah, so fuck, I lost my train of thought. Fuck. I'm tired. But
it's one of those
Pornhub
ones.
at some point. It'd be interesting to just have an audience on Pornhub that, I mean, they're not. There's possibilities they're just waiting for us to kind of do something stupid.
I mean, yeah.
I
I
was
mean,
supposed
I
to
know
get
Twitch
drunk,
is.
maybe he'll second-
Twitch is just waiting for us to do something really dumb, bring up something that is completely a no-no. Which I'm really surprised they haven't kicked us out so far because we've talked about some pretty
Some
sketchy
really
stuff.
fucked up shit, yeah.
We've talked about some sketchy stuff. I mean, we haven't gone like off the deep end, but we've flirted with it like once or twice.
Those are gone on an episode.
Yeah, I thought we weren't going to talk about about that.
Ooh, on that episode.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, it was on that episode. Yeah, we just had one on the table.
It's an interesting
weird.
point that
It
we
was
were
weird.
trying to make here about the shooting, what we don't talk about guns. Fucking hell. What else do we have in mind? I completely lost it. Currency is another conversation I had recently. Oh, God.
Oh, hey, how you doing?
You know who that is?
Yes, I know exactly who that is.
Hi, Jay. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Or no, it's YouTube, so yeah, you're watching.
Oh, apparently we're not live on YouTube anymore.
No, on Twitch.
Oh.
It's just speaking of Twitch, you're not live. So they cut us off on Twitch? About fucking time.
Did they finally, like we said, hey, we were wondering if they cut us off on Twitch, and then they cut us out on
according
Twitch.
to this, 4 out of 4 streams are going, so...
So maybe they are.
Maybe he's wrong. I don't know. I'm about to open Twitch and see if we're still live. But according to this, we're live on Twitch. It's possible they cut us off at some point. No, Twitch is still live.
That might be up with you because we're able to.
Yeah, that might be
up.
you. Our Twitch stream's still live right now. Wow, there's almost no delay there.
Yeah, no delay.
Yeah, you're not live right now. Yes, we are. Twitch.tv/freaking Deviant. It's live right now. I just tested it on my phone. I can test it on this computer right here. Twitch.tv/freaking Deviant.
Anyways, yeah, you said about currency.
Yeah, so I had a conversation. Oh, sorry, you got time machine. Sorry, unless you've got a time machine, this content's unavailable. Interesting. So they cut us off. Oh wait, no.
No,
We're live.
we're still live.
We're live. I misspelled it.
Oh, you misspelled it.
Yeah. So if I do this, you can see my. There you go. It's like 5 seconds late. Yeah, we're still live. But yeah, no, I had a conversation from mine about a currency. He said that I guess it's sort of a hippie anarchist mentality of like, if we remove all money, that'll fix all our problems, which it's such a weird perspective because people think that money is the root of all evil, and it's not. It's greed. Mm-hmm. It's not money. People want resources, and people want to keep more resources than they need. This is why there's people with way more fucking money than they can spend. This brings to mind this thing we're talking about because we had a conversation before with people that's saying that if you're rich, you can't be moral.
Right.
And
yeah, that was a fun conversation.
Because it was something along the lines of...
Oh boy.
Now they picked up Twitch because you see that the number went up of people watching.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it might have been this computer. Anyway, but yeah, the whole idea that if you're rich, you can't be moral because you should be giving away your money. The problem is, at a certain point, you're no longer giving money away to people. You're giving it to the fucking government. Mm-hmm. That's just a thing that happens. After a certain level of donation, they start taxing the shit out of you, and it's not even worth it. So, you're talking about I think the owner of Amazon. Or no, it was Bill Gates.
Yeah, it was Bill Gates.
He literally can't donate anymore. He donates as much as he can donate before the government starts taking his money.
Before things start going out of hand.
Yeah, and it's no longer worth donating.
And even after that, still he finds ways to,
still help people.
He makes his own stuff to help people, getting people large amounts of like free books online, free college books online and stuff like that. And all this other...
this brings me to Brewster's Millions. Have you ever seen that movie?
No, I haven't.
It's a Richard Pryor movie, and it's actually a brilliant concept. That still, I feel like that should be rebooted at some point with a more current. But basically, this guy, his great grandpa died or something, and is a millionaire. And it's like, I will leave you $30 million, but only one condition. When I was a young man, my dad my dad caught me smoking, so he locked me up in the shed with a box of cigars and didn't let me out until I smoked them all, so that I would hate smoking. He's like, so I'm gonna do the same to you. It's like, you have 30 days to spend $3 million, and at the end of those 30 days, you can't own any assets. You have to be flat broke, with nothing but the clothes on your back. You can't own any property. You can't own any assets. And you have to spend $3 million in that amount of time. And it's like, if you can do that, you can get $30 million. It's like you're hearing, it would be a bigger number, something like 300 million, something like that. Some absurd amount of money that he will never be able to spend. But the whole movie is about him trying to do whatever he can to spend money as fast as possible. Oh, I'm gonna rent this venue, buy dinner for everybody, and it's like you can only donate or give away this percentage. You can only give away this much money and donate this much money. Like there was limitations to what he could do with that money, but by and large it was a matter of and there was these lawyers were trying to keep that money, so they were kind of working against him. You know what I mean? And at some point, it was funny, interesting. Like, oh, I'll give this money to a friend of mine. He's gonna go gamble it away like an idiot. And the friend came back and like, I just made you $30,000. Like, you fucking idiot. Like he came back with a bunch of extra money. Like, fuck. And he was like gambling it away and buying dinner for a bunch of people, ordering airplanes. Helicopters for like a baseball team. To take them all to the stadium it was very interesting. At some point he bought a fucking like the most expensive collectible stamp, and they're like, oh, he doesn't understand that he's gonna have assets if he buys a collectible stamp. And he fucking sent a what do you call it, when you visit a city or something, one of those, a picture of the city.
Like the postcard.
A postcard.
Yeah.
And he fucking put that stamp, licked it, and put it in there, and like sent a postcard with like a $2 million stamp.
Oh my god.
I was like, holy shit. They're like, well, it's not valuable. He fucking used it. But it was fascinating that he was trying to spend the most amount of, like, all of his money with nothing to call his. At the end of that, he was renting a hotel for himself throughout the whole time because he couldn't own a house, or you know what I mean. So he was just renting a hotel room, remodeling it, which is like, wow, what a way to waste money! What a way to throw away money.
Yeah.
He was remodeling a hotel room that he was renting.
Wow.
It's a brilliant story. Like at the end of that, he's like, fucking hate spending money. I hate money, but he's rich. Now he's rich and he appreciates money.
That's interesting.
That was a very interesting, kind of moral.
I'll have to,
and it's Richard Pryor. There's a lot of cursing in that movie.
I'll have to watch it. I mean, it kind of reminds me of The Magic Christian, which I guess is far older.
We still haven't finished that.
We haven't finished it. It's very British.
It's
very British.
So is Monty Python, and I fucking love all that shit.
But it's one of those ones that you have to like be awake for, because otherwise a lot of that shit's gonna go over your head.
The History of the World Part 1, I think, something you showed me too.
Was it History of the World? We also need to watch Harold and Maude, because that's relevant to the podcast.
No shit. All right, I'm interested. Is that the one with the old lady?
With the old lady and the young man.
Yes, we talked about this. Yeah,
it's a good movie. I think you'd really like it.
Interesting.
That one probably more than the other ones. Honestly.
Yeah, the conversation I was having was that this guy was saying that if we remove money, all problems go away. I'm like, not really. Because this is something that a lot of people don't think about. You still need currency. Even before money, there was other things. Different societies did different things, but it's a very new thing in human history to use pieces of cloth with pictures of dead presidents in it as currency. That's a very new thing, and we're almost done with that shit. Most people don't carry cash anymore. Most people have this imaginary number.
Some people don't. I love cash.
You like cash?
I like cash.
Well, you're at strip clubs and shit, right?
I mean, yeah, I do strip clubs and stuff, but besides the strip clubs, like
not that there's anything wrong with strippers, by the way.
You can always get good deals with cash.
Yeah.
You can
for
always
liquor stores for sure.
Liquor stores, you walk in there with cash, you can get a good deal. You know, buying a computer, if you're like, I got this much cash, like even if you don't think, they're like, here's the price. It's like, all right, I have, your price of this really top end computer, $3,000. Like, how about I give you $2,800, $2,900 in cash? And they'll be like,
can you get your car in a really good deal because you put like $8,000 on it?
Yeah, in cash. Yeah, it was great. I kind of felt like a drug dealer. It was funny. Like I walk in and I have like $8,000 in cash. It's great, but like you can get good deals with cash because of just how easy it is for.
Speaking of strippers,
for you to do it, because like it's electronically, like they have to deal with all these other stuff. They have to deal with like paper and red tape when it comes to large amounts of money. But if you're like, here's cash, they're just like, okay.
Yeah.
I now don't have to pay someone a whole bunch of money to go process your thing, and also the bank will not, deduct things from me, will not try and take stuff from me.
Yeah.
I don't have to deal with them. I can just
Interesting.
literally just
It's
walk
an
into the
interesting
back,
way of
put it in my
abusing-
vault, and it's right there.
But yeah, basically the way that we use currency, and this is something that most people don't think about. Currency is a translation for, I believe, work. I guess value and work, I guess. Because you work a certain amount of hours
The way I've always
to own a certain amount of value. Now, the person you're working for, the person you're doing work for, doesn't necessarily have the things you want or need. Right? They might not have clothes, food,
or
shelter.
the thing that you're
But somebody
selling.
else might.
Yeah.
Somebody else, because in the olden days, like you go work for a farm, or some place, and they'll give you a place to stay, they'll feed you and clothe you. That's what you're working for, right? Like you're working your livelihood. Nowadays, you don't do that. You work at a company that doesn't have either shelter, clothing, or food. They give you this translation of that. It's like you work this many hours, you're worth this much in goods. And then you go somewhere else and get your shelter, food, and clothing. Like that's what currency is for, translating that amount of value to you. Nowadays it's basically a digital number on a phone screen. Right?
I like cash.
You know what I mean? Like payday. Oh, direct deposit. Look, I have this many fucking $1,000. Let's go shopping. That's how money
Speaking
works.
of which, I
You
should
just
probably go shopping later.
run your card and it no longer is currency. I mean, it is currency. It's no longer money technically. At this point,
Yeah.
you're just translating numbers from one screen to the other.
Oh, what was that movie
Oh my-
where they have like digital? It's like on their arm or something, where they actually have like their currency on their arm, and they can just like
Idiocracy.
what?
Idiocracy.
Well, no, not that one. It was like
barcodes and-
it was like oh fuck, who was in it?
They use
Was
credits.
it Brad Pitt who was in it? I don't remember.
No, maybe
It was
not.
like around the amount of time that you have left.
Oh, that's a whole nother thing. Yeah. And don't they have like a little timer on top of them?
I don't remember. I don't.
Yeah.
I saw like a part of it once upon a time. Like I don't. Yeah, and then like you can transfer the amount of time.
In terms of timeless future, no.
No,
I'm gonna Google it.
yeah. I
Keep
don't-
talking.
I don't even know, but like that's an interesting one because I've always heard that currency is based on how much your time is worth.
Yeah.
And honestly, I like living by that principle because I always know how much how much I am worth to a company. And I don't go below that even when negotiating with, other jobs. Even if I need one, I'm like, no, I know exactly how much my time is actually worth to these people.
Interesting.
Or that it should be
So
worth
I just
to
found
these people.
something called In Time.
Yeah, I have no idea. This is what, 2011? Justin Timberlake?
That can't be it, is it?
I have no idea. This looks like,
No, I don't think that's it.
is this literally the whole movie?
No, this is... Oh, shit, it is. I thought it was a trailer.
Cause you're like going, I'm like,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, I just realized it's 2 hours long. That's just movies and fucking YouTube.
Yeah, I have no idea.
2 hours.
It's always been an hour.
No, it's 2. That's one up.
Oh, so you pay
Yeah,
hours.
yeah, you pay. Yeah, this is what I
It's
what I
called
thought.
In Time, yeah. That's Olivia Wilde. That's 13 from House. And yeah, they basically have time on their
On their
wrists,
arm, and then
showing how much time they have to live. And did she just die? Oh, her time ran out right in front of them. That's interesting.
How's that supposed to be?
Now I noticed that. Oh shit, that's Matt Bloom. Oh, Matt Bloom. Yeah, that's from fucking White Collar.
yeah.
I love that dude. I think it's Matt Bloom is his name.
For everyone, there have been with a million years almost.
There's a Scarecrow from Batman. There's a lot of young actors. Interesting. I might want to watch this.
Yeah,
That is a very interesting concept.
Yeah, this is what I was thinking.
But
about.
I noticed that we're trying to get into a bus and it's like 1 hour. Wait, what? So they're paying with time off of their life.
Off of their life,
That's the
yeah.
currency. And again, that's a form of currency where you're transferring how much time of your life is that worth.
What are we gonna do? Steal?
Is it stealing if it's already stolen?
Was that oh my god, I forgot her name. I love her. Shit. The girl from Spider-Man and Ah, she's in Zombieland. Is that her?
Oh, I don't.
The redhead?
Yeah. That is her from Zombieland. Yeah, it's the same chick.
Everybody wants to live forever.
Everybody wants to live forever. No, that is not her.
No, that's not her.
She's
No.
from. She's the girl from Mean Girls.
Yeah.
With the big
I
eyes.
can barely see the screen. Your things. In the
Oh,
way.
my iPad's in the way. Sorry.
It's all good. I don't care. We can watch this later.
Yeah, I'm definitely curious in time. 2011. I wonder where it's available. We'll look it up and find it.
What,
I
are
will-
you kidding me? We just found it.
Oh, it was live on YouTube actually.
What are you talking about?
You just watch it on YouTube. Speaking of that, I actually found Dogma on YouTube.
Wow, really?
Because of course it is. Nobody's
mean,
gonna.
yeah.
Disney's not gonna take it down.
Yeah,
they don't give a
he's-
shit.
You know, they
Nobody-
want that movie to disappear.
Yeah,
into
they don't give a
obscurity.
fuck about it, so they're not claiming copyright or anything.
I think I'm gonna download it and just keep it on like a hard drive somewhere.
Yeah, I
Show
have.
it to
I
my
think I
kids
have
when
most of
they're
Kevin
old
Smith's
enough.
movies downloaded. Fucking yo, you know when he had a heart attack and he said that his one regret is that his last movie was Yoga Hosers and everybody hated it
Oh yeah,
because it's sort of sequel to Tusk.
yeah. When
It's,
you
it's
have,
kind of a garbage movie. It's so stupid.
it's a B movie. It's definitely a B movie.
Yeah, and I just love that his daughter gets to say, "I'm not even supposed to be here today." That's beautiful. Such a beautiful reference. He also said, I caught him in an interview saying that one of his dreams is that his daughter becomes a director and wants to reboot Clerks.
I mean, that'd be
Can you
interesting.
imagine?
That'd be pretty cool. I'd watch it.
But yeah, interesting movie. And that's such a beautiful concept of you're no longer paying. Instead of working a third or fourth of your life, how long do you work? I mean,
Well,
people
probably a
work
lot.
8 hours of a day, 5 days a week, which is not exactly a third of, because it's a little less than a third, right? Because you have 2 days off. Most people work 40-hour weeks. There's some people that will work half of their fucking lives.
I mean, yeah.
Which and then another third you have to spend sleeping. So you have a third of your life to enjoy yourself. Imagine if your life is just that much shorter and you never work. Every time you want some, so if you want to live cheap like a homeless dude, you live forever. You live way longer because you never have to buy things with your time. It's just minimalist, like a burrito. That's 2 minutes. You know, what I mean, like
Yeah.
There's a soda. That's another minute. There's a cigarette. That's 0.5 minutes. Like, just because it doesn't take much time to earn those things. You just buy them with very little part of it, so you live a long time. Whereas someone who wants to live very well will have to that's 8 hours of my life to get that car. You know.
8 hours. Shit,
No, it'd be
it's way
nice.
more.
No, out of your, how many hours would you say? Like a car is roughly what, $15,000 for a cheaper one?
Yeah. Okay.
How many hours of work does it take to get that amount of?
Well, let's assume you have a nicer job. Let's assume you're getting $30 an hour.
So, okay, let's go with the 15, which people want as a minimum wage.
15 is people wanted, so that means
$15 an hour. Let's do some math here. Can you do it on your head, or you want me to? Because it's a
you're
little bit of
making me
math.
do math in my head.
No, that's never mind. So 15 hours, $40 an hour, $600 a week. Times 4, so that's 2,400 hours a month. How many months does that take? So $15,000 divided by 2,400. That's 6.25 months.
So
of
half
work.
of yeah.
That's not
so,
hours though. I didn't even think about. I should have just stayed 2 hours.
6.25 months.
Yeah, 6.25. Actually, yeah, times 4. No, times. Fucking 40, 80 was 160. So 6.25 times 240. So that's 1,500 hours. Is about how much.
About how much time that would
About
be.
how many hours it costs to buy a car.
Yeah, we could have probably
in
done
a
that way
15
easier than doing all that conversion stuff.
But I did it pretty quickly. I'm good with math. I'm good at numbers.
I'm good at using a calculator.
Well, yeah, but I know what shortcuts to. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
I'm pretty good at doing numbers. But
I am not the mathematician of my family.
I'm the budgeting guy. Usually have a list of how I budget things, and I still fuck it up every now and then. I think food is the one thing that just completely throws off things. Like, hey, let's go out
Dude,
to
my
eat, and you end
food-
up spending like $30-40 on a meal, and I'm like,
My
fuck.
food budget is like everywhere. Like I started losing weight, and my food budget, like I'm suddenly throwing away so much more.
Healthy food is expensive.
And then like
That's
yeah,
the
the
thing.
really
cheap
healthy
ass
food.
like dollar burgers are fucking unhealthy.
Yeah, I mean I eat them anyway. Like I just go buy a big thing of the chicken nuggets and just eat that for like 4 days straight.
But you can still count the calories, like right? You
Yeah,
eat a certain
it's
amount of
super
chicken, so
easy,
you know
yeah.
you know exactly how many calories.
I know
are in
exactly what I'm getting.
a serving. Yeah, interesting.
And like, wow, you just eat that every single day? It's like, yeah, and every other day, you know, I have ramen.
I eat. That's another thing. I survive off of ramen, but I don't like ramen by itself, and I also don't buy the cheap ramen. I
Ooh,
buy
do you eat dry ramen?
No, hell no. Oh my god, I had a friend.
Deviant.
You fucking deviant. No, I totally had a friend that would grab like the little, the cheapest ramen that's like in a wrapper of plastic.
Yeah.
Right? The little flavor that looks like a condom. He would throw it without the flavor. You throw it in a Ziploc bag, break it.
That's what I do.
And then I think he would, I don't know if he put water or put I don't know, but he ate it almost solid.
Yeah.
It was like chips. Like, the fuck, dude? That's not how you make that.
I mean, it's how I make it.
Are you serious? You eat ramen dry like that?
Yeah, I eat ramen dry like that. I don't put any water in it. I just throw the seasoning in there.
You're supposed to fix tables
Shake
with that, not eat it. You shake it like that? Is that,
yeah,
is that
that's
how
how
you
I shake it. Is I grab it and I shake it. I jerk it like this is not how I jerk off. Don't do this. You'll hurt your dick.
No, you're supposed to jerk off like this, right? No.
No.
Depends on your size.
Depends on your size.
Sorry, it was a good joke. It was a visual joke. Nobody's fucking. Oh God, I did that in high school. That's grammatically incorrect.
Says you.
Says you. But no, I had a friend that used to eat that shit. But no, like so now part of my diet currently, and it's a certain amount. Like I when I go to work, I don't want to leave the office to eat lunch, because I get like an hour lunch. But I don't want it. I don't want to leave the office and then spend something like $5 to $10 per meal per day, 5 days a week. That's a fucking little money you're throwing in food. So I actually buy ramen and I don't buy the cheap ramen. I buy like the ones that come with a little bowl and there's like
the nice ramen.
Yeah, it's the
ramen.
nice stuff. It's something like $1 each. And then I buy a can of chicken chunks. So I buy a chicken ramen, throw some, then cook it, and now I have a nice ramen with some meat in it. So it's not just.
Now it's not just the ramen.
It'll fill me up faster, and it'll actually have some nutrients to it, like some you're
That's
actually.
a good idea.
Chicken
I
is
like
a good
that.
diet anyway, so I could have just eat the chicken. The ramen is just a flavoring to the chicken.
I have chicken nuggies.
Yeah.
Which
and a can of chicken is, I don't know, 50
which, by the way, for
calories.
those of you who are wondering, yes, I do when I order chicken nuggies from
You say
McDonald's.
nuggies?
I say nuggies. It's the best thing in the world. I remember one time I ordered something like 150 or 140 chicken nuggies, and like,
what do you say nuggies? How old are you?
and in like bursts of 20. It was like, can I get like 20 McNuggies? And I can get like
you're taking the whole fucking fry for
20
yourself, asshole.
McNuggies.
You fucking deviant.
I ordered so much. Well, it was like in the middle of the night, and there was no one behind me. Like,
What?
no one showed up for like 40 minutes while we
While
were
they were
making
cooking
it.
all that shit.
Yeah. And like, we left, and there was still nobody there.
Oh, that's amazing.
I was like, I don't feel bad at
I
all.
remember those fucking places that sell you like a box of tacos. I think it's like Taco Bell.
Yeah.
No, I think it's Jack in the Box. It was
it
one of
Jack in
those
the Box?
companies
One of them.
that sell you
I
like
don't
cheap ass like 50-cent tacos, and you can buy dozens upon
Oh,
dozens
yeah.
of tacos. They're garbage, by the way. They taste like crap. They're basically solids. So, like, I remember opening one and it looks like nothing in there. It was like, what is this? It looks like that stuff when have you ever squished a cockroach? This juicy shit pops out of there.
Yeah.
That's what the
okay.
taco looked like.
That's where we're going with it. That's
Alright.
okay. That's good.
Oh shit!
Well,
This
it's
thing's
time up.
making noises. We're out of time. That was a
God.
good conversation, Jim. I was having fun. Ah, god damn it. Well, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for listening and watching and paying attention. Thank you for all the attention you've gotten. By the way, if you're interested in some of our shirts.
Oh yeah, that's right. We have
friggin-
shirts. Fuck. We
Yeah,
have
go
shirts.
to freakingdeviant.com. There's a button there that says t-shirts.
I'll have to spend more time on that next time.
Yeah, and we're gonna come up with some new designs. But there's 2 new designs from last week that you can buy. This is exactly what we say at the end of every show, which is about life is chaos.
And nothing is sacred.
Good night, everybody.
Bye, guys.